Why is Tubbo such an underappreciated character? Now, I'm not just saying this because I'm a Tubbo apologist, love his lore, love his streams. I'm asking this as an actual question that I'll be answering in this video. The short answer is that Tubbo's lore has always been gradual. If you aren't looking for it or haven't been actively watching him during lore, you probably haven't noticed it, but it's always been there. Tubbo's character changes are slow and feel natural, but somehow his character is almost completely different from the start of the SMP and the L'Manberg era. Today I'm going to discuss Tubbo's most recent lore, which I dub his solo lore. Over the course of 4 streams on the Dream SMP, messages appeared on the screen in 10-minute intervals. The first string of messages appeared on April 1st, 2021. Tubbo doesn't acknowledge these messages, as if he's unaware of them or ignoring them. The first message reads as, "Hello, can you hear me? I'm cold, it's very dark. I can hear them. They are underneath me. I don't make cakes often. I've never had one. Oh no, please, I must go now. Goodbye, Michael." The next appeared on April 5th. "Quick, I don't have much time. Stay away from the north. A strange metal weapon washed up. It poisons the nature, the water. No, it's not. That's it. We're leaving." The 9th. "Someone needs to tell him you must go to the north. If anyone can hear this, I stashed a book. It has instructions. He needs to wake up. He must. Wake up." And finally, the 11th. The north. "Go there. Don't go there. Please don't. Promise me. I like how the house is looking. It's much nicer than the north. I hate it here. I am trapped." On the 11th, the intervals were not as smooth and a lot more random. No messages have appeared since, but I don't believe that Tubbo has abandoned his lore plans. Also, we haven't forgot about your problems of weekly lore, Tubbo. I will break down these messages, but first I want to do some investigating on the seed of the Dream SMP. If we load the Dream SMP, which is a string of numbers that I'm not reading, on seed map, and go to the north, we can find snowy biomes that are in the north. The first snowy biome is 2,000 to 3,000 blocks out. This is presumably where Technophil and the Syndicate is. This is confirmed if you select the Stronghold option, which shows a stronghold on the southern edge of the biome, which would be where the Syndicate room is located. The biome is 20,000 to 22,000 blocks out, and the next one is at least double that. I think the second snow biome is where the north is. All the messages are rushed, with many spelling mistakes, and the font they appear in is scratchy, almost like the person, or 2 people, are rushing. The first stream's messages formed this message: "Hello, can you hear me? I'm cold, it's very dark. I can hear them. They are underneath me. I don't make cakes often. I've never even had one. Oh no, please, I must go now. Goodbye, Michael." It's cold, dark, and something's underneath the person. These things could be anything. It could be dreamins, which Tubbo actually hunted for a short time. It speaks about cake, but that can seem random. But then we get to the end. "Goodbye, Michael." This was said when they, Tubbo and Rambo, were in the Snowchester mansion. So I don't think it means all too much, and it's merely just referring to Michael. The bad spelling isn't just here either, and spelling errors appear many times over all the messages. "Quick, I don't have much time. Stay away from the north. A strange metal weapon washed up. It poisons the nature, the water. No, it's not. That's it. We are leaving." What is this metal weapon? Could it be Tubbo's lost nuke? But unless the nuke had been compromised, why would it be poisoning the nature? Radiation does hurt the land around it, and this was right after he lost the nuke. It could be the egg, as the Red Banquet was held on the 25th of April after all these messages were quote-unquote sent. And we know the egg's reach is vast. The egg is still a threat to the SMP, as it hasn't been destroyed or neutralized as a threat, merely contained, and is seemingly getting harder to destroy. But it could easily not be the egg, as it was described as a strange metal weapon, and the egg is not ever described as metallic. The only metals in the Dream SMP are the four if you count diamonds, established within Minecraft, of iron, gold, netherite. None of these that we know of have the effect of poisoning the nature. I think the best guess right now could be Tubbo's lost nuke. I believe the last part. No, it's not. That's it, we're leaving. It's two people fighting. Except we only hear one side. For now. Also, note how they left the north. The next message reads, "Someone tell him to go, he must go to the north. If anyone can hear this, I stashed a book. It has instructions. He needs to wake up. He must wake up." I think this is the second voice, as all the previous messages have tried to dissuade the recipient from going to the north. And what is this book? Who needs to wake up? There are very few established books on the Dream SMP, the obvious one being the Revive book, and the other being Tales of the SMP. But this message also says something else interesting. The wording. The voice says, "I stashed a book." Remember, at this point, the voices had left, meaning whatever was underneath was alone in the north. Now we look at the final message. The north. Go there. Don't go there. Please don't. Promise me. I like how the house is looking. It's much nicer than the north. I hate it here. I am trapped. Let me read that first bit again. The north. Go there. Don't go there. Please don't. Promise me. One last time, I promise. But this time, I'm gonna break it down bit by bit. The north. This could be either voice. Go there. This is most definitely the second voice, which makes the first part of the message also seem like the second voice. Don't go there. Please don't. Promise me. All three of these are the first voice. And then we have the second half of the message. I like how the house is looking. It's much nicer than the north. I hate it here. I am trapped. The voices are out of the north, but at least one of them is still trapped somewhere. This shows that the voices can see what Tubbo's doing, as Tubbo was rebuilding his old house in the Holy Lands, which was burnt down during the War of Independence. It also stated that whatever the voice was seeing outside the north, it being much nicer than the north. This is the most dialogue string of messages, and it's also the one string of messages that didn't follow the intervals of 10 minutes. Much like conversation, it is sporadic and doesn't follow the conventions established by the previous messages. What is the house about? What is the nicer than the north? Well, his old house. We've answered that. During these streams, Tubbo was always building or reinforcing Snowchester's defenses. I think the first voice, in the end, got control over the conversation, as the second voice seems to like the north, whereas the first hates it. My explanation / theory to this is, quick side note before I say the explanation, is that these messages could be sent by one person going back and forth, but I believe that it is more likely that to be two people, as it makes the most sense, and makes the wording seem more natural to think it's speaking of two entities. This theory is still valid with one entity, but I personally think it makes more sense with two. These messages were sent by two different entities, which are aware of each other. One wants Tubbo to go to the north, and the other one says to stay away. The situation can be directly compared to Tubbo having an angel and devil on each of his shoulders, each whispering in his ears, and I believe one of these voices, the second voice, the devil on Tubbo's shoulder, urging him to go somewhere. These voices almost act like the egg, but I don't think they are the egg. I think these voices are unique to Tubbo. I also believe that the first voice is more powerful than the second, as it is spoken the most, and forced both voices away from the north. We also know that Tubbo suffers from the good old lots of voices in your heads ailment. Sorry to break the fourth wall here, but Like techno, Tubbo's chat are voices in his head and canonically established. That's why during a lot of Tubbo's lore streams, he directly speaks to chat, which almost all the other streamers don't do because of the fourth wall. What if these are two voices that have become more powerful than the rest, more sentient than the rest, with a grounding in reality, them being somewhere located in the server? That was my breakdown of Tubbo's current/newer solo lore and my opinions and theories on it. And now I'm going to quickly break down Tubbo's character from my perspective, from the time of the Tubbo administration to now. During the Tubbo administration, it was established that Tubbo was under huge amounts of stress, also being constantly pressured by everyone other than Rambo in his cabinet to do things that went against his personal code. In Wilbur's D&D alignment chart, he put Tubbo as lawful good, which many people seemed confused about or seemed to disagree with. The reason Tubbo is in the position of lawful good is because he has a strong sense of morals and finds anything that goes against these morals hard to do, although he can be swayed with enough convincing. Tubbo is fiercely loyal to his friends and mostly puts them above and before himself. Tubbo's self-esteem at the end of the L'Manberg/Doomsday War was very low, and he had even been manipulated by Dream to think he was the worst president in L'Manberg's history, even worse than a tyrant and a terrorist. And this fact isn't entirely true, but Tubbo was just doing what he judged best for the country, which at the time was his job as the president. Tubbo then started Snowchester, which he used as an escape and used to cope after the loss of L'Manberg, which had been his home for the majority of his time on the SMP. Snowchester was then revealed to be a front for his nukes, but we'll talk about that later. During the final disconfrontation, Tubbo seemed indifferent or to be actively seeking out the end and loss of his final canon life. Tubbo believed that he had done enough in his life despite being the third youngest on the server, only Rambo and Tommy being younger. This isn't the canon timeline, but close enough. We just know that he is one of the youngest members and youngest canonical characters, so there. We also see Dream manipulating Tubbo's self-view once again, describing him as a pawn and unimportant enough to be able to kill. This led to Tubbo's arguably most famous and definitely most impactful line on the Dream SMP. He, Dream, described me as a pawn. This is checkmate. I suggest you, Tommy, resign. He then went to forfeit his last life, in return for Tommy being able to live, even if it was within the prison. He was unable to do so as Puns and the rest of the SMP stepped in. If Puns didn't step in, I don't think anything Tommy could have said or done would have stopped Tubbo from giving himself up, showing that Tubbo truly did think he had done enough and that his life no longer mattered. Tubbo canonically has the most powerful weapons on the entire SMP, those being nuclear warheads that he developed during Project Dreamcatcher. From what we have seen of them, they are undeniably terrifying. The test fire made Leman Crater look like a mere creeper explosion. The entire reason for Tubbo making the nukes, and in turn Snowchester, was to dissuade Dream from coming anywhere near Snowchester if and when he got out of the prison, even stating that if Dream even laid a finger in Snowchester, that it was all gone. Tubbo has proven himself to be smart and keenly observant when he wants to be. This is shown when he was investigating Tommy's death in the prison. where he noticed Techno's half-full chest of gunpowder, the disturbed snow on the roof of the prison, and the weird sand on the far side of the prison, which all led him to correctly assume that whoever did it used TNT and was semi-unprepared. Tubbo has also become paranoid, especially in the event following Tommy's death. When Tommy both died and was subsequently revived, he doubted that he was dead, and then once he'd accepted Tommy's death and Tommy was revived, Tubbo thought he was seeing things, or that Tommy was a ghost, just like Ghostbear was. Tubbo's paranoia has most recently been seen with the Cookie Outpost, which he used to spy on Las Nevadas, as he was, rightfully so considering the crew's history, suspicious of Quackity. This brings us to the present and my prediction for what is going to happen to not only Tubbo, but the SMP as a whole. There will undoubtedly be a war between Las Nevadas and the greater SMP, and the Syndicate plus Dream, because of the recent prison law. I believe that Tubbo will find it hard to choose a side. Tommy will side with Las Nevadas, as he has been becoming close to Quackity, and Rambo will side with the Syndicate despite Dream being there, since he, let's just see Rambo's gullible, which will put Tubbo directly in between the two sides. One side is his best friend, and someone he is semi-distrustful, and now that it's gotten out that Quackity was torturing Dream, which is probably going to happen, that's not going to be fun. And on the other side is his husband, the person who canonically he loves, as it is, I'm pretty sure it's been canon confirmed that their marriage started for tax benefits and then grew into romance. Even so, Rambo's probably one of the people he's closest with. But even then, on the Syndicate side is the person he hates most and caused almost all his pain, Dream. The person that caused him to develop nuclear missiles. I believe that both sides will want him on their side because of his nuclear arsenal, even if it's only been diminished to one warhead, because many of them will find the test fire situation and know that even one is powerful enough to wipe out your enemy, or at least do it decently. The Syndicate already knows of the nukes, because of their investigation of Tubbo and Snowchester a few months back, and I believe Quackity will find out through Foolish, who Tubbo interrogated after the loss of one of his nukes, which could be in the north. This is where the voices will come in, by Tubbo finally either acknowledging them or noticing them. After long deliberation, Tubbo won't choose a side. He will give in to the second voice, and leave to go investigate the north. He will then find whatever was mentioned in the first message, the thing that was underneath the voice, as well as his missing nuclear warhead. But we don't know what that thing is, and I don't think we will until Tubbo actually goes to the north. But I'm certain whatever it is will turn the tides of the SMP forever. Hi, thanks for watching this video all the way through. I'm sorry if there are any fumbles on my part with the reading of the script. This is my first time doing a scripted video, and from all my previous videos, you can probably tell I mostly do art on this channel. If you could go and check out some of my other videos, that would be great. I have many different art videos you can peruse. None of them are good, but check them out. I might start using this channel again. Again, thank you for watching, and sorry for any mistakes when reading.